You wake up one morning and see news that the banks are closed. You pick up your phone to check your balance, but the app doesn't open. A note is on an ATM a few streets away, out of service. On your way to work, you notice people talking a bit more than usual, and curious about what's going on, you check the news. You hear that all banks have shut down. As if you were the only sane one, you try to open your banking app on your phone and fail. After seeing queues at ATMs and bank branches, you suddenly try to secure your existing money by converting it into gold or silver by going to jewelry websites. But none of them are online anymore. Although you think this is a temporary malfunction, you go to the stores you know and try to shop, trying to secure yourself. Soon you will regret why you didn't keep any physical store of value under your pillow at home. People are lining up in front of closed bank branches. Supermarkets are filled with shopping carts. Everyone is paying with crumpled banknotes because cards don't work. Seeing people still standing in line at the ATMs of closed banks, you see everyone asking each other if they have cash because now neither cards nor contactless payments, NFC, phone applications work anymore. On TV, there is constant breaking news that the digital financial system is on the verge of a breakdown, but by then it is already too late. And suddenly a freezing thought hits your mind, making all your hands tremble from the cold. You realize that the thing you believed to be money is no longer the guarantee you thought it was. In fact, it was never something physically existing. It was a concept believed in by you and billions like you. And slowly it starts to hit you hard. Money is not a value, it is an electrical data you believed in. The value was an idea told to you, an assertion imposed by politicians making you trust it, a kind of utopian religion, but in reality it was just electrical data on a screen. This feels like the beginning of a dystopian novel, but it is not. This feels like a historical stolen literary work, but it is not. It is not a future vision either. It is something that has happened before and is happening again. And not just in the distant inferior countries you used to hear about. Argentina, a country known for its football rather than its magnificent economy, during its severe crisis, the economic authorities who had held power for years suddenly realized the IMF assistance and the real meaning of debt and became helpless. As people rapidly started withdrawing money from banks, the system began to collapse. Because of this, the government closed banks and called it the Corralito, meaning little cage. But for Argentine citizens, this was not a so-called cage, it was a trap. The weekly withdrawal limit was reduced to a ridiculous amount like 250 pesos. Dollar accounts were converted into a devalued local currency using exchange rates invented by the government itself. The dollar was no longer the reliable value people trusted. Within just a few weeks, all savings, investments, or future security were cut in half. People found the solution by going out and protesting. The middle class had already disappeared. If banks close, this is unfortunately the destruction that occurs. The disappearance of money as a concept suddenly shows its effect in a physical way. Your rent suddenly becomes unaffordable. Even bread and milk become unreachable. Who do you think is guilty? The people who believe in it, or the system itself? Here is proof that Argentina is not the only example. During the Cyprus financial crisis, the European Union, as part of a bank rescue package, froze deposits. While trying to save the banks, the European Union suddenly froze all financial assets and deposits without asking anyone. A father sending his child to school, a mother going out to work in the morning, and those who hold the future of the new generation had no idea. All accounts over 100,000 euros were subject to deductions. Have you heard of a country called Lebanon? Probably not much, but it is an important example. During the Lebanese economic crisis, after years of corruption and economic collapse, banks imposed monthly withdrawal limits. In this country where for years people said, "Let the snake that does not touch me live 1,000 years," the crisis finally reached its limit, and banks introduced monthly withdrawal limits. How? Does your safe where your money is kept suddenly feel foreign and dangerous? How would it feel to have money in your account but not be able to access it? During the Great Depression, even in the United States, banks were temporarily closed. This was described as a bank holiday, supposedly to restore trust across the country. And finally, the main example, the center that